guys, what's up? It's Clay, and today this is going to be part 3 of my Blu-ray and DVD collection. This will be 2 more of these types of cases. This will be case 4 and 5, I think, out of 8 or 9, however many I have. Now, in this case, because recently I finished putting all my movies that I have with me into these cases, because I had a couple that I hadn't put away yet, so I had to rearrange some stuff because they're in alphabetical order. And so the first couple of these will be ones we saw in the last video, but that's just because I rearranged the movies because I added more to the other cases, and when you have alphabetical order, you got to rearrange stuff. So some of these movies we may have already seen, but that's why we saw them. So this is the first case of this video, so let's get into this. And here's what I mean, because if you watched the last video, we saw the Hobbit series in the previous video, and so now they're in this case because I added stuff to it. So we have The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, The Desolation of Smaug, and The Battle of the Five Armies, which we already saw. Hocus Pocus, I believe we saw, and Holes, I think, was the last one from the last case. So all of these should be ones we haven't seen yet. I'm pretty sure that's where it ended. So we have Holmes and Watson. I really enjoyed this movie. This movie was freaking hilarious. I know there were some people that didn't like this movie for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's because they went into it thinking it was an actual Sherlock Holmes movie. But when you look at who's in it, I mean, it's got Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. So you should probably figure that there's gonna be some comedy to it, and I mean we still quote this movie. This movie was hilarious. I've watched it about 3 or 4 times since I got it, plus the time I saw it in theaters. But it's hilarious. One of the funniest movies I've ever watched. I don't think I've ever laughed that hard in theaters. So please, if you didn't like this movie, leave in the comments why you didn't like it, because I kind of want to know, what that perspective was as to why you didn't like it. But I really like this movie. So next up we have Holy Flying Circus, which is another Monty Python, or not another Monty Python, but a Monty Python movie. I do have another Monty Python, which is Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but we'll see that later on. I didn't really enjoy this. This was kind of confusing for me, but I haven't seen all of the Monty Python things, so I don't know. I just didn't really like that. 2 classics here, Home Alone and Home Alone 2. I think I like both of them, but I think the first one's definitely my favorite. These are really the only 2 worth owning, in my opinion. So, we have Home Alone and Home Alone 2. This is Homeward Bound 2-pack, Homeward Bound and Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco. Again, I like the first one better, but the second one is still good. I do like both, and I remember the first time I watched that movie, it was 2 dogs and a cat, and they were going together, and it was really sad at one part of the movie. If you haven't watched it, I don't want to spoil it, but it was, it's a good movie, so check them out. At least the first one, check it out if you haven't. But they're both good. Hoodwinked, I really like this movie too. This was creative, a creative twist to the story of Red Riding Hood, so I thought it was pretty neat. Hook, this was a good one with Robin Williams. as Peter Pan. Really good movie. This was a Nickelodeon show that we watched on Nickelodeon when it was out until it switched channels, and we didn't have the channel that it went to, so we couldn't finish the season. But the seasons that we did watch, I really like this. This is House of Anubis. So this is season 1, and I did enjoy this show from what I got to see before it switched channels. The House with a Clock in its Walls. This was a really good movie. I wasn't expecting it to be what it was, but I had a fun time with it. How to Train Your Dragon 2. I've never seen this. I saw parts of the first one, but never watched the second one. Hulk. This is not the Incredible Hulk. I do have that, and we'll get to that later. But this is just Hulk, which is an older version of Hulk. It's been forever since I've actually watched that movie, so I don't really remember it. But yeah, it's not the Incredible Hulk. It's just Hulk. This is the Hunchback of Notre Dame. The 2-pack. So you have Hunchback of Notre Dame and then Hunchback of Notre Dame 2, and then the Blu-ray that has both of them on it. I didn't know they made a second one. I've seen the first one. I really enjoy the first one. But again, didn't know that they had that they made a second one. The Hunger Games series. The first one's my favorite. But I have all of them. So we have the Hunger Games Catching Fire, the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 and Part 2. Again, I don't know if they should have split this into 2 movies, but they did. So there's 4 movies. And again, the first one's my favorite. After that, it just kind of gets really weird and confusing, and yeah, the first one's the best. This is a documentary called The Hunt, also narrated by David Attenborough from the BBC Earth. This is about different animals and like how they hunt their prey, and it shows the process of what the groups go through in order to get their food that they need. So it's a really cool documentary. I really enjoy that. I, Robot, another good movie with Will Smith. I really like I, Robot. I should rewatch it because it's been forever since I've watched it, but I do remember liking it. I'm Not Ashamed. This is a movie about a girl at a high school. I forget which high school it is, and I don't want to get it wrong. So, but she was a Christian, and these kids came in and were like, they went up to her and they asked her if she believed in God, and she said yes. So then they shot her, and she died, and it's based on a true story. Really well put together movie. And I didn't know the story, so I can't really say whether or not it was accurate. But she could have, basically the premise was that even when faced with the choice of living or saying that she believes in God, she chose to say that she believed in God, and that's really a good message, I think, to send. I Can Only Imagine. This is based off the lead singer of the band Mercy Me and their song I Can Only Imagine, and how they pretty much almost lost the song, and by that I mean they almost weren't able to sing it because the rights to the song went to someone else or whatever. But it's based off of their lead singer pretty much, and the journey it took for them to get the song and become a band. And it was a really good movie. I really enjoyed that. This is Ice Age, the Ice Age collection actually. So we have Ice Age the Meltdown, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, Continental Drift, and Collision Course. And then the Blu-ray version of Ice Age and the DVD version of Ice Age the Meltdown, which I had before I bought the set. Again, could probably get rid of those, but I still have them for whatever reason. This is Immortal Wars. Haven't seen this. It looked interesting, but I still haven't watched it. And then this is Immortal Wars Resurgence, which is the second one of those, I guess. Haven't seen either one of them. Don't really know what they're about, but yeah. This is probably one of my favorite TV shows of all time, at least comedy-wise. This is Impractical Jokers, so this is Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, and Season 4. I haven't gotten Season 5, and I think they're on 7 or 8 on TV. So these guys are hilarious. Check them out. Four friends who have been friends since literally, high school, maybe before that. And I mean, they've been friends forever, and pretty much what they do is they go in and they just do this competition where they have to tell each other what to do, where they have to do weird stuff in public, and if they refuse to do it, then they lose and they get punished. And it's hilarious, and some of the stuff they make each other do is just outrageous, and the show is hilarious. So check this show out if you haven't. Here's the Incredible Hulk. We had Hulk earlier. This is the Incredible Hulk. This is the MCU movie where, the first appearance of the Hulk in the MCU. So, I didn't mind this movie. Just, I don't think it has really rewatchability, at least compared to some of the other ones. But, yeah. The Incredibles, and then The Incredibles 2, or just Incredibles 2. There's no "the" this time. Really enjoyed the first one. Couldn't wait to see the sequel. And then I saw it, and it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, but I still really enjoyed the movie. So, I still enjoyed it. Some people didn't, and I'm one of the people that did like it. I still liked it. I don't think it was bad by any means. And it picks up literally right where this one leaves off, so I think that was kind of cool. Independence Day and Independence Day Resurgence. Haven't seen either one of them. I heard mixed reviews on both of them, but again, I haven't seen them, so I really don't know what they're about, but I should probably watch them. The Indiana Jones collection, so we have Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Temple of Doom, The Last Crusade, and the horrible Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. They didn't need to make this movie, but they did, so yeah. But these three aren't bad. I think the first one, the Raiders of the Lost Ark, is my favorite. But the first three aren't bad. This one sucks. Inkheart, which I haven't seen. This is another Tim Hawkins DVD. If you watched part 1 or part 2, you saw an empty space where my Tim Hawkins DVDs go. And Tim Hawkins is a Christian comedian that I love. And those movies are loaned out at the moment, so that's why there's empty spaces for them, which is kind of a pain when you're trying to put more movies in and you got to keep that space for this one, and it gets confusing. But so yeah, so that's why there's an empty space there. Next we have Inside Out, which is a really good, in my opinion, a really good Pixar movie, based on the emotions and like, you know, how kids think and stuff like that. So I really enjoy it. The movie that started it all, the first MCU movie made, Iron Man, still holds up, I think. Still a really good movie. And again, it came out in 2008, but it started the MCU franchise that we have now. So without this movie, we may not have gotten as far as we did with these superhero movies. Iron Man 2, it's not as good. I really don't enjoy this movie. But, you know, it's MCU, and I own all of them except Thor: The Dark World. But, yeah, I really don't like this movie. And then Iron Man 3, which I like better than Iron Man 2, but it's still not as great as the original. This is It, Stephen King's It. This was the mini series, I think is what it's called. It's two-sided disc, so you have part 1 on the front and part 2 on the back. Which I didn't mind this one, but I hated the second part of this one, but I really enjoyed this one. This was the one that came out in 2017, and I really enjoyed this part. I didn't get to see It Chapter 2 in theaters, so I'll just wait for it to come out on DVD, but I really liked this, and I haven't read the book, so I don't know what, but I've seen this one, so I kind of know the premise of part 2. But this was really good, and Bill Skarsgård plays a good Pennywise the Clown. So check this one out if you haven't seen it. Probably my favorite movie of all time. I've rewatched this so many times I could almost quote it, like word for word. Jaws. Fantastic movie, or Fin-tastic movie. Get it? Because it's a shark. Okay. Jaws. I really, really love Jaws. Again, rewatched it so many times, and it still holds up. This came out in 75. But a really good movie. Still holds up to this day. Jaws 2, which I also enjoyed. Not as good as the first one, but I did enjoy it. It has the same characters and stuff. This one sucked, and this one sucked. But I bought I wanted all of them, so I bought all of them and watched them, and this one was horrible. I don't know why they made this, and then this just was confusing. So yeah, you don't have to watch these two, but the first 2 Jaws movies you can watch. But especially the first one. The first one's a classic, and it's amazing. The Jeepers Creepers movies. So we have Jeepers Creepers 2, and then Jeepers Creepers 3. 1 and 2 came in a set together, and then I bought 3 separate. I really like the first one. The second one isn't bad, and the third one isn't bad, but they don't hold up as well, I don't think, as the first one does. But I still have a good time, and I still have no clue what the creeper is supposed to be. But it's a unique take on horror, and I really like the movies. Jeff Dunham's Christmas special. Jeff Dunham, another comedian. He's funny. He's a ventriloquist comedian. So I really like this Christmas special. The John Wick movie. No, we have John Wick Chapter 2, and then John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. These movies, in my opinion, are Keanu Reeves' Mission Impossible movies. They literally get better as they go. I really like the first one, and then I really like the second one even more than the first one, and then the third one, which came out this year, I watched it and it was even better than the first two in my opinion. So I really think these will keep getting better. So if they keep making these, I think they'll be good because they get better. If you haven't seen these movies, definitely check them out. But you do have to watch them in order because they do kind of continue off of each other, especially Chapter 2 and Chapter 3, because Chapter 3 picks up right where Chapter 2 ends. And so, the first one's kind of just like a backstory on John Wick, whereas the second one is the actual, where he gets back into it and goes around killing people and stuff. So, but, they get better, and they're amazing films. I love them. The Journey 2-pack, as it's called, Journey to the Center of the Earth and Journey to the Mysterious Island. The first one wasn't bad, and the second one was more of a comedy, but I still like both of them. Another classic here, Jumanji, the Robin Williams one. I really, really like this movie. This is a classic, so I won't buy that new one. I won't watch that new one with The Rock and stuff. I just think it was a dumb idea. But hey, if you like the movie, that's fine. I'm just saying, I personally don't think it's a good movie. I haven't seen it, so I can't judge whether or not it's a good movie, but just the premise and the principle of the movie, I don't think is good. So I'll probably never watch that. But the original one is really good. This is the Jungle Book, the animated one, and then the Jungle Book, the live action one. Saw the live action one in theaters. Really enjoyed this, actually. I really enjoyed the live action one. The animated one's a classic. I like both, but this surprised me. I didn't think I was going to like this as much as I did, but I did really enjoy it. The Jurassic Park series, the classic Jurassic Park, the Lost World Jurassic Park, and then Jurassic Park 3. The first one's definitely my favorite, but I do like all three. And then Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I think I like Jurassic World better than I liked Fallen Kingdom, but a lot of people give Fallen Kingdom hate, and I can see why. I personally still like the movie. Still say it was a good addition to the Jurassic Park franchise. So don't hate on it too bad, but I like the movie. King Kong. I bought this at an FYE. That's why it says this family video thing on it. But it is King Kong. I don't know why that's written on there. And then I bought the Blu-ray version of it with a cool, lenticular slipcover where the picture changes and stuff. So it's really cool. So I could get rid of this one, but King Kong, I actually like King Kong. It was a pretty good movie. Nightfall Season 1 and Season 2. This movie for TV series is about knights from the Knights Templar during the Crusades, and they have to find the Holy Grail that was lost during the Crusades. And I started watching Season 1, and I'm almost finished with Season 1, and it's a really good series. But it's a really good series, and I'm looking forward to Season 2. Hopefully it's just as good, or maybe better than Season 1. But Season 1 so far has been really, really good. And then this is Knowing, which, again, I've seen before, but it's been a while. But I think I do remember liking this movie. So I'll have to watch it again, but I do remember liking this movie. So that's it for case 1 of part 3. So this is case 2 of part 3. We have Knucklehead, Really funny movie starring WWE superstar Big Show. Not a whole lot of rewatchable value, but still a really good, really funny movie if you watch it. Kong Skull Island. I saw this in theaters, and I thought it was okay. It wasn't great, but it wasn't a bad movie. I think it's a good movie to set up the build between King Kong and Godzilla, if they do that. But I think I like the original King Kong better. Land Before Time, the movie, and then the first movie, and then the collection of the rest of them. So we have another copy of the first one, and then these two. I'm not going to read all of these because that would take forever, but I'll show them to you. There's that one, this one, and these two. So yeah, I got the complete collection of the Land Before Time. As a kid, I really liked the Land Before Time movies, so I had to get them. I'll probably never rewatch them, but for nostalgia, I bought them. 2 copies of The Last Airbender. I have no clue why I have 2, but the movie was really good, and I think they should definitely remake it. I'm not a huge fan of remakes, but that is a movie I would go see if they remade it and made it good. Don't make you could make a sequel to it, but you could also remake it. I think with today's technology, I think it would be a good series to bring back, and then keep going with it rather than stopping at the one movie. But the first movie isn't bad. Probably my favorite TV series ever. It is my favorite TV series ever. Law and Order Special Victims Unit. I've seen every episode, even though I only have the first 10 seasons of it on DVD. I've seen every episode numerous times. I love this show. They're on season 21, I think, on TV. So I have to get, 11 more seasons on DVD, but I have the first 10 seasons. So here's season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, season 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, really love this. It's probably the only cop show I've ever actually enjoyed, and I've seen every episode. So yeah, I really love Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Check the show out if you're into those like cop shows and stuff, because it's a really good show. Legends of the Guardians, the Owls of Gahul. Another one where I think they should do either a sequel or a remake of it. Really good movie though, how it is, but I would be okay with a remake or a sequel to it. The Lego Movie, really enjoyed this. And then the Lego Movie 2, the second part. Didn't like this as much as the first one, but I still had a good time with it. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I did. I liked the second one, but I prefer the first one. Let There Be Light, another Christian movie. I haven't actually seen this. So I don't know what it's about, but I'll have to check it out. Letters to God, another Christian movie that I haven't really seen, but I should probably check it out. This is another Disney Movie Reward mystery DVD that I got. This is The Lion Guard, Return of the Roar. And then The Lion King classic. Probably my favorite Disney movie of all time. It is a really good movie. I didn't get to see the live action one. I heard it wasn't that good, but I might get it when it comes out just so I can watch it. again, not a huge fan of some of these new live action ones that they made, like Dumbo and Aladdin. I didn't see either one of them, but they just didn't look that good. The Jungle Book I really enjoyed, but I haven't seen Dumbo, Aladdin, or The Lion King live action, so I don't know if they're good, but they didn't look that fun. But I might get it just to check it out. Logan, this was a really good movie about Wolverine from the X-Men series. Check this out, because this was a really, really well put together movie. Really liked this movie. The Lone Ranger, this is another one that my grandmother gave me, like the Cisco Kid. If you watch part 1, you saw that. Probably never gonna watch it, but it's got three episodes on it. Those right there. So I might check it out, but you know, it's an older one that my grandma gave me. Lone Survivor. This was a really good movie. It's based on a true story of U.S. soldiers that get trapped somewhere, and it stars Mark Wahlberg. He does really good at some of these movies based off of true stories, but I really like this movie. This is The Longest Yard. It's been forever since I've seen this movie, but I do remember enjoying it. The Lord of the Rings trilogy. So we have Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and Lord of the Rings. They are classics, and I do like them. I don't sit down to rewatch those movies that often. Return of the King was really good. It won an Oscar for the year it came out for Best Picture. Really good movie. I just don't rewatch them all the time because of the length of the movies. This is the M. Night Shyamalan East Rail 177 trilogy. It has Unbreakable, Split, and Glass, which is the newest one. I watched Unbreakable. I really liked Unbreakable. I've seen Split. I have another copy of Split because it was by itself. Haven't seen Glass yet. Heard mixed reviews on it. Wanted to see it in theaters. Didn't get around to it. But that's the reason they're here, is because the set is called the M. Night Shyamalan, if I'm saying his last name right, East Rail 177 trilogy, and so it goes under M because that's what the set is called, rather than putting it under U for Unbreakable. Yeah, so that's why it's up here. Madagascar, really like the first one. Madagascar 2, Escape to Africa. Didn't mind the second one. I don't think I've seen the third one, but I really like the first one. Didn't mind the second one. Manifest Season 1. This was a really good TV show about an airplane that disappears and then reappears. Check this show out if you haven't, because I really like this. Season 2, I don't know when it's coming back, but I really like Season 1. It was really good. What I saw of Season 1 so far was not bad. I really enjoyed that. Man of Steel, not my favorite DC movie, but not my least favorite DC movie by any means. That definitely goes to Justice League, but you know, it has its flaws. The Marine 2 and the Marine 3, which all came together in a 3-pack. I really liked the first one. I didn't really like this one. And then the Marine 3 wasn't bad. They really have nothing to do with each other. At least the first 3. But, you know, the first one has John Cena, the second one has Ted DiBiase, and then all the rest of them have The Miz. And The Miz is my favorite WWE superstar, so I really like the movies overall. Except the second one. But the first one's really good. And then these ones, they aren't bad. I think they just made too many of them because WWE Studios took over for some of them, and they were just, I don't think they were necessary, but they were still not bad movies. So we have the Marine 3, Marine 1, Marine 2, and Marine 3 3-pack, and then we have Marine 4 Moving Target, the Marine 5 Battleground, and the Marine 6 Close Quarters. again, these two and the fourth one have the Miz, and the third one have the Miz. Again, not bad, but definitely not the best of the series. But these last four, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all kind of continuations off of each other. But 1 and 2 are completely different, but the first one's still my favorite. Marmaduke, haven't actually seen this. Another like kid movie that I should probably watch, just haven't gotten around to it. The Martian, this was really good. Matt Damon as an astronaut stranded on Mars. I really like this movie. Matilda, I think that's another classic. I think everybody's seen Matilda at least once. It's a weird movie, but it's a classic. Max, I haven't actually seen. That's another one of those movies I haven't watched yet, but I heard it was really good, so I'll probably check it out at some point. We have the Maze Runner movies. We have the Maze Runner Scorch Trials, and then the Maze Runner Death Cure. I've seen the first two. I really enjoyed the first one. The second one wasn't bad, and I haven't seen Death Cure yet, which I should probably watch. The Meg, this wasn't a bad shark movie. Jason Statham. I enjoyed this movie. I saw it in theaters, watched it again once I got it on Blu-ray, but again, I love shark movies, so it wasn't bad. This is called the Mega Shark Collection, which is why it's here, but it has 2 discs, and it has those movies on disc 1, and then those movies on disc 2. I've only seen a couple of these movies. They're again like mediocre kind of shark movies, but I'm into that kind of thing for shark movies, so that's probably why I keep it. But Megalodon, another one of those like $5 shark movies. It wasn't bad. I mean, the storyline behind it was kind of weird, but it wasn't a bad movie overall. Megamind, I really enjoyed this movie. Miracles from Heaven, another one that I've seen. This is another Christian movie that I've seen like once that I should probably rewatch. But I don't really remember it, but I have seen it. Misery, I really enjoy this movie. Kathy Bates does a good job in this movie. It's a really weird movie about an author who gets kidnapped by his biggest fan, but it's a really good movie. So check it out if you haven't. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. This was a $5 movie from Walmart, and I know my brother, I think, and my mom saw this in theaters, and I didn't, but I've heard mixed reviews on this. I wanted to check it out, and since it was only like $5 at Walmart, I got it. I haven't watched it yet, but I do want to check it out and at least watch it to see what it's like before I get rid of it. And then we start the collection of Mission Impossible movies. So we have Mission Impossible and then Mission Impossible 2, and the rest of them will be in the next case that I show in part 4. So this was part 3 of my DVD and Blu-ray collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this. There's, I think, 4 or 5 more cases to go through, so hopefully we can get through them within 2 more parts. And this is a big collection of movies. There's over 700 something, so I hope you guys are enjoying these movies. I know I like watching collections like this. Check out parts 1 and 2 if you haven't already seen those. They're on this channel. Stay tuned for part 4, and leave a comment on what you thought of this part of the video, and stay tuned for what else we'll put up on this channel. So yeah, please like this video if you're into this kind of thing, watching these DVD and Blu-ray collections like this. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.